What's up, guys? Welcome back to YouTube and welcome to our new house. We finally got sorted. We are no longer crammed into the spare room of the apartment. I am just making my rest day brekkie here. I've gone and got my cardio and abs done. So I'm going to sit down, have my shower, get my check-in over to Meg, and going to chat about kind of the last few weeks, because I actually haven't done one of these in a couple of weeks. The last one was filmed a couple of weeks ago and only uploaded, so lots of updates, lots of changes, lots to chat about in this video, but for now it is very much food time. And here we are in the office and it is check-in time. So I am armed with a strong iced coffee. Needed coffee 2 of the day. I say I'm having 3 coffees a day on rest days and then 2 plus a pre-workout. Possibly a monster in the afternoons if I'm really fucked on a training day. It depends about the kind of work and stuff to do or whether I can chill. So just going to input my data from this week, and it will definitely be different since the last update, because I think I watched it back earlier and it was 74 kilos had been my lightest weight, and I've definitely got a lot lower than that since then, which is awesome. I'm going to pop these in and then I will come back on to chat and run you through some meal prep. So check-in has been done and sent over to Meg. So depending on what she says, I'll be back on later. I am anticipating some changes this week for sure. We've been doing really well and like hitting our targets and dropping about 1 kilo a week. So since the last video, I've actually got down to a light weight of 72.2. Now, that was obviously really great. Like, we were seeing drops nearly daily, but I was feeling, fucked at the end of last week. Like, I was really, really tired. Just like serious fatigue. So flagged that to Meg and we actually ran a 2-day refeed. So we got the calories back up. I think they were about 2.5 on the training day and 2.1 on the rest day. Steps were peeled back to 12k, so just took off like 2,000, and then no cardio on those days either, just to give myself a chance to recover, get back some energy, kind of fuel up, and just get a little boost to be able to push on again. So they definitely did their trick. Like, I felt so much better after a bit of food. Mood, energy, everything was a lot better, so I was very thankful for that. And Meg, if you're watching, they're welcome anytime. But that's actually the first time we've ran a refeed since we started prep. So I have been on point since the 7th of November. That's 14 weeks or something on plan before I got a refeed. And a lot of preps only last 12 weeks, so bear that in mind. Like, my prep is long. We had anticipated diet breaks, but just haven't had them. And like, that's kind of the name of the game. Like, you can plan all you want, and you can kind of say, oh, I'll do an extended prep and be able to do all of these diet breaks, and it just doesn't happen, unfortunately. And that's part and parcel of it. You just have to keep soldiering on. So if you're someone who won't deal with that very well, it's probably not the sport for you. But I had my birthday then last week. No, nothing really. Everyone is kind of like, oh, I hope you can have some cake. You can't, because that is not what prep's about. Prep is very selfish, very, very overarching. Like, it takes over everything. Like, it has to be top priority, right? So like, I know I can have cake after my shows. It's not a big issue. I got through the day. It was fine. I got some cards and I got some lovely flowers from Gary and Django. So that was really nice. Then yeah, so like, in regards to visual changes, I will actually pop up a comparison of the start of prep to now, because you will really see like the changes. Back in particular, like, has come in a lot. It's so funny because when I was, peak off season, I didn't feel fat. Like, I was actually very comfortable in myself, which was really good, because looking back now, I'm like, oh my God, look at my face. Like, look at the chubbiness. But so even if I like was a bit fluffy, I think it's really good to notice the mindset progress in that regard, because a lot of women struggle with, when they're not lean and like in between shows or after shoots or whatever, when, you don't have the veins or the condition or whatever it is. So I was like pretty comfortable. Like, it was fine. I didn't feel awful at any stage, so that was good. Because I would imagine that we'll be pushing up higher weight than that for the next off season. I saw one of the other girls and she is currently 94 kilos. And that thought is scary. Like, that thought is scary. I'm super tall anyway, so I can carry more weight than the average girl. But 84 was heavy for me for sure. So the thought of pushing past that is nuts. Like, anyway, visual changes obviously have been good in prep, and we're definitely seeing more condition and kind of a lot leaner on my upper body. This is always the way for me. Like, my midsection and my upper body come in, and then genuinely it is the last few weeks that my lower body starts to play ball. Quads have like leaned out, which is nice, and like we can see there's some density built there, but glutes and hammies, they are always last to the party. So I'm praying to the shred gods over the next month that they really start leaning out and dropping the fat off them, because I definitely don't want a very non-matching back and lower half. So that will just be something that we're going to push really fucking hard for. This is the really hard part of prep. So we're now 5.5 weeks out from show 1. So this, like, next month is a serious grind. I'm ready, like, because in fairness, yes, I've had 1 or 2 weeks where I've really struggled, but I haven't reached the, oh God, I'm a zombie and I can't function day to day part yet. So that's coming. That is coming. I am imagining some drops, because after the refeeds, I went from 72.3 up to 74. And that has come back down to 73.5, but that's been the last 3 days in a row, so it actually hasn't dropped back to what it was. So I'm just mentally preparing myself for a reduction in food today, or an increase in cardio, who knows, because cardio is still 30 minutes on rest, push and pull, none on legs. So yeah, when I get the feedback, I will come back on and tell you what the boss lady says. Take 3. So obviously I was meant to finish this off yesterday, and our group of friends here in Perth were hit with some pretty horrific news about a friend. Unfortunately, Fiona, our friend, and my first ever friend here in Perth, someone who really looked after me and made me feel so welcome when I arrived first, and really extended that olive branch and just made sure I knew I had somebody here. Unfortunately, went missing on Tuesday and was found Wednesday, in Esperance. She was hiking. She always goes hiking. It was just an ordinary thing for her to do, which she loved so much, nearly as much as coffee. And yeah, I think anybody who has lived abroad, especially to Australia, you're so far from home, knows how close you are with your friends here and how much your friends mean to you here. They are your family, like, because you have no family here. Your girlfriends are like your sisters. And it is just not the news you ever want to get. Horrendous phone call to get from another friend, and having to talk to other friends, and just, yeah, it's obviously not sunk in fully yet because I'm actually able to come on and record this, but I just can't actually believe that I'm never going to see that friend again, and I'm never going to get to go to a nice coffee shop with her and catch up and have a doggy play date and have a cheese board and all of these fucking minuscule things, but they're just part of friendships, and I actually can't believe I'm never going to have that with her again. Like, she was the first person I made friends with, and she was the person who met me for coffee and even brought a packet of protein pancakes because that's who she was. And we're all just devastated by it. But I hemmed and hawed about whether to finish this vlog or not, because it just felt so silly and so pointless. But then I thought about what I was trying to do with this series, and that is really to show the highs and lows of prep, right? And a lot of people get bad news on prep, be it a friend, a family member, you know, whatever loved one it is, and you know, you have to deal with it. You have to face those emotions. It's not like you can go to the pub with the rest of your friends and, you know, have drinks and laugh about the good times. Like, you just have to face those fucking feelings, which is going to be really tough. And I'm actually glad I have prep to focus my mind on the next few weeks, and not as a distraction, but something to take up my thoughts and my mind, I guess. Same. But yeah, this is probably going to be the lowest point in prep, and I'm sick because I know she would have been there, like, cheering me on. She came to my first show. Here's a picture. And yeah, I'm just really gonna miss her, as are all of us. Really just shocked and so sad and so annoyed and so frustrated and all of those emotions. But this happens, and life outside prep happens, and life goes on, and death goes on, and the world around you happens while you're in your little prep bubble. So pretty, you know, awful news. But I did get my feedback, and I wanted to go through that with you, and kind of, you know, show you the changes, because there's been quite a few. We have dropped food, so I'm averaging about 1,400 over training and rest days, a little above, little below, really minuscule differences, kind of higher carbs on training and lower fat, and then higher fat on rest days, and lower carbs again. It's pretty bleak at the moment. I think my rest day carbs are like 120 grams. Disgusting. Oh no, 105 grams, and I think my training day carbs are possibly 120. How disgusting is that? We've also added in 10 minutes cardio on rest days and push days, so we now have 40 minutes on rest and push, 30 minutes on pull, and none on leg days. Steps are 15,000. And I've also got an extra rest day today, which is definitely welcome. And we are actually going to run, so rest day yesterday and today, so an extra rest day, and we're going to run 4 deload sessions, so they'll start tomorrow, Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday. All devolume sessions, just to allow myself a good chance at recovery now before we really push. And then we'll, you know, deload kind of in the week approaching the show as well, and the training volume will come back down. So that's kind of where we're at with all of the updates. I did actually drop back down in weight today, which was nice. So I'm back down to 72.7. So I'm just 500 grams off my lightest weight. So hopefully be back to that in no time, because, you know, the lower food, I couldn't eat dinner yesterday either, so that probably helped. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a different headspace, I guess. But I'm just going to use the next 5 weeks to give this my absolute best and use every fucking second to the best of my advantage and just not take anything for granted and work as hard as I fucking can, because you never know when you're not going to get the chance. And yeah, it's a bit of a weird week, I guess, and an odd mood and note to finish this on, but as I said, I just wanted to show the highs and lows and shows you kind of what you still have to deal with on prep, and how you have to deal with it. So thank you for watching, thank you for all of the support. I know obviously a lot of you watching would have reached out on Instagram and stuff like that as already, so genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And yeah, thumbs up, subscribe. Any links, coaching, socials, everything like that is in the description below, and I will see you for a much more energetic next vlog.